Mirzaaghasi, and I'll be talking about soccer once again. Man City have finally won. Yes, they've won against Bournemouth 2-1. They did a good job. Of course, Marmoush and Haaland would score, but they can't really do anything else besides just winning the FA Cup all the time. I just don't know how they do it, because we end up doing so poorly in other leagues, and then in this one we just do like really, really great. I just have no clue what's happening at all. But I am glad though, because at least it shows that they can do something, at least. They will be facing Nottingham Forest on April 26th, in which I feel like it's going to come to an end here. There's no way we're winning against Nottingham Forest in the condition that we probably are as a team. If we can't even like beat them in like a standing in the Premier League, we're not winning against them in this game at all. So I'm just going to say the run ends here, probably 2-1. So that's my prediction. I hope that we do win, but I just don't see it at all. I just don't see the vision for it. We move on to Barcelona. They won against Osasuna 3-0. This wasn't a challenge, but honestly, this game was just delayed because Barcelona's doctor died, sadly. But it was a delay for the inevitable, I should say, because Osasuna really just didn't store a chance when it comes to Torres scoring a very early goal. The 11th minute, Olmo would score a penalty, and then Lewandowski would just score the last goal, just making the game like confirmed that, yeah, Barcelona basically won. This was just too easy for them. But this was a delayed game for the La Liga. The actual game against Girona was another story. This was 4-1. This was another easy victory for them, which is great because it just shows that they're towering when it comes to the La Liga. And it shows that enemies should beware of this team, and I really mean it, when it comes to Champions League, La Liga, any type, because Lewandowski would score twice and Torres would score once. This shows, and I said this multiple times, Barcelona is going to be dominant when it comes to soccer tournaments. And I have a good feeling that they might win the Champions League. And of course, they're going to win the La Liga. But we have to see to figure out. They're at first place, followed by Real Madrid and Atlético Madrid. I just have a very good feeling. This team shows very good promise. And of course, before we move on to the United States, I have to talk about this. The big game. Barcelona versus Atlético Madrid semifinals for the Copa del Rey Leg 2. The big one. I will be covering the next episode. It's a huge game. I'm going to give this a big opportunity, a big play-by-play. So stay tuned for that, as that is a sneak peek. And in the United States, there is Inter Miami versus Philadelphia Union, which was an Inter Miami victory 2-1. And this game was a little chaotic in the end, but I'll explain, as this was 2-1. Suarez had a good attempt. Messi happened to score as well, but tried to also score, but didn't really do as much. Like I said, this was very chaotic at the end. When the Union scored, it was madness. It was absolute madness. Many people were trying to score in, try to make a tiebreaker, make it a tie, but Inter Miami luckily still had this victory in the bag. It was very close. They still secured the victory. There's no standings since there was no Premier League this week, but I do promise the next week we will bring back standings, as the Premier League will return. Also, there's no South American qualifier standings because they don't resume until June 4th. So thanks for watching, but don't go anywhere because Rocco and Matt will be talking about the NBA.
Hello and welcome back to the NBA segment on the highlight reel. Couple games to cover this week, so let's get it started. First up, we got the Pacers and the Thunder. Thunder taking this one 132-111. Thoughts, Rocco?
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it, what else is there to say?
I mean,
SGA. Remember the initials, remember the name. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He, ladies and gentlemen, may in fact be your MVP, your league MVP, no less. And I believe the Thunder, this game separates them from the rest of the pack, from the rest of the league. Number one seed, championship favorites in my eyes. And I don't think anybody is on their level. Maybe the Lakers, maybe the Celtics or Cavs. But the way I see it, it is the Thunder's championship to lose. I get it. The curse. I get it. This team is different. This team, the Pacers are not a team you blow out by 20 points, and the Thunder just did that right there. So, great win for the Thunder, and I think this is going to really help them going forward. I mean, the number one seed's essentially locked for them at this point, so they have nothing really to lose in that regard. So we'll have to see if they can hold their own come playoff time compared to last year.
moving on, we got the other number one seed, the Cavs, taking on the Clippers. Cavs taking this one 127-122. Your thoughts on this one?
Jared Allen, 25. Donovan Mitchell, 24 for the Spider. I mean, Clippers have caught fire recently. You got to respect the effort. The Cavs might just be in a tier of their own when it comes to the Eastern Conference, and I get it. I know the Clippers are not in the Eastern Conference, but you get the picture. The Cavs, on the other hand, they might be the class of the Eastern Conference, and we'll see. When Tri-State Sports has its own episode a couple weeks from now for the playoffs, I'll give you my thoughts on that. Until then, good win for Cleveland, and what else to say? They're the best in the East.
Moving on, we got your Knicks against the Blazers, 110-93. Knicks taking this one. Your thoughts?
Just domination. Not really what I've seen out of the Knicks this year from a domination standpoint. They haven't really been dominating teams the way I thought they would. Granted, the bench is not very good. Cat, Brunson, they've been hurt for a little while now. But let's talk about the guys who did contribute. Mikal Bridges with 28 points and OG Anunoby 28. I love this, man. I love when both of these guys, they take over the game like they only know how. No Cat, no Brunson. Can't wait till they come back. They took care of business, and that's how it should be. When you are a team like the Knicks, good bench or not, these are teams you should be winning against, and these are games that you should be winning, period. Because you want to hold on to that third spot in the Eastern Conference. You don't want to grip it, or lose it, actually, I should say. It looks like they're going to play the Bucks in the first round if everything stays the same. So we'll see if the Knicks can get healthy in time and take care of business.
Well, that's going to do it for us today on the NBA, but don't go anywhere because next up is Myles and Luke on the MLB.
Welcome to the highlight reel. Today we'll be talking about the start of the MLB season. So to start, we'll talk about your Yankees and their hot start to the season. They just got a nice series sweep against the Brewers, finally lost last night to the Diamondbacks. Luke, what do you think about the start?
It was a great start, hitting home runs all over the place. The first game of the season, didn't score as much, but then Saturday, second game of the season, 20 runs, 9 home runs, and a 20-9 win against the Brewers, who clearly aren't that good because they got blown out again after that. But after that, they won again, hitting a lot more home runs. And there's these new bats, the torpedo bats that everyone's talking about. While only a couple of Yankees are actually using them, they've gained a lot of popularity around the league. A lot of people are using them now because of all the runs that were scored in those games.
Yeah. So you see, here we have a normal, just Easton bat, right? What they do with the torpedo bats is they move the wood from the barrel of from the bottom here of the bat to the label, which is all the way up here. They move it so the sweet spot comes up. I personally think it should be illegal.
I want to know why.
Because we are going to have Anthony Volpe hitting 30 home runs.
Anthony Volpe is a good baseball player.
He's not a 30 home run a year baseball player. I
Maybe
think
he
it's
is
illegal.
with the new bats.
Yeah, with the new bats.
Yeah, but
it should be
it
illegal.
doesn't help everyone. You think Devers would be able to hit with the new bats? He can't hit anything.
Devers can't hit with
He
anything.
can't hit the baseball.
Yeah, if the baseball was a beach ball, he'd still strike out.
Exactly.
But we're seeing guys now that are going to hit 50 home runs that should not even.
But there's nothing illegal about them.
I know there's
the
nothing.
Barrel's not any
yet.
bigger.
I'm not arguing
The
that.
barrel's not any bigger.
The barrel, but the sweet spot's moved.
Yeah, the sweet spot.
We've
moved.
had the
So if
same-
you hit it where the barrel used to be, you're not going to hit it as well. As
We've
you
had
would've
the
with
same
a
bats.
normal bat.
for 100 years.
That's not true.
basically.
They've changed bats all the time.
They allowed metal bats 1 year. That didn't work.
Okay, obviously not what I'm talking about. They changed the handle. They changed
Well,
the
that
size of
doesn't
the.
matter.
They change stuff all the time.
The
about
handle,
bats.
you're like the crooked handle.
Yeah, they
that
change
doesn't
stuff all
matter,
the time.
though. But they moving the barrel, which is the biggest part of the bat, or at least the most important part of the bat, I think it should be against baseball rules. So, here I have the donut on this. It's light blue. Yeah. So they just move it around, and that's supposed to be the barrel. They move it around. I don't think it should
And
be
why haven't
legal.
other teams been able to figure this out?
Well, I mean, you guys hired an MIT nerd professor who did it, but everybody's going to be using it by, I'd say, the end of May.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
think it should be illegal. Or I don't think it should be legal.
The Red Sox are one of the teams already using it in spring training.
Yeah.
They didn't bring it to the regular season probably because it didn't work for them.
It's clear they didn't bring it to the
Yeah.
regular season. They won opening day, then they lost. They kept on losing. They're on a 5-game losing streak, and Rafael Devers has turned into Joey Gallo.
He's over 19 with 15 strikeouts to start the season.
Yeah,
You think he'll get a hit? You think he's just mad about being a DH?
I think he's just annoyed at everything. It's a snowball effect, right? He's annoyed that he's not playing third base. He's annoyed at Bregman.
How do you feel about the Bregman contract, hanging $40 million a year
I like
to take
that.
Devers' spot?
Well, Bregman's a 3-year deal. So, I mean,
Yeah.
money, again, we don't have a salary cap in baseball. So it doesn't really matter how much money we're giving him. But,
As for the Yankees, they built a salary cap for themselves.
yeah, they're going to be paying Anthony Volpe $25 million because he's going to be hitting 30 home runs illegitimately.
There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing different about, like, the bat besides where they move the wood to.
It's like a wiffle ball bat. You can't, like, you shouldn't be able
What?
It's like those cheap wiffle ball bats that you buy at like Five Below. You shouldn't be able to hit with that. It's just not what we've been using for 100 years. I don't like it.
Okay.
All right, now on to some actual baseball news. Garrett Crochet received an extension, 6 years, $170 million.
I
Jack-
thought it was a
yeah.
lot of money for him. How do you
thought it
feel
was
as a Red
good.
Sox fan?
I like it. We
Yeah.
haven't, as I said, we haven't been
Yeah.
able to develop a starting pitcher. Your guy Max Fried, he got 210. What was it, 210
Yeah,
last
but
year?
he didn't have any arbitration left. You could have kept Crochet cheap for a couple more years.
What if he wins the Cy Young this year? Then he's not gonna win the Cy Young this year. But what if he did? He'd make upwards of 350, and our ownership's
Yeah.
not gonna pay that. Now on to the other extension that just happened a couple hours ago. Jackson Merrill got extended. Could be up to 10 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know what he was thinking.
Yeah,
I mean, $135 million? Like, you're going to be a superstar. He would have hit free agency when he was 27. Did you see what Soto just got? $765 million? Obviously, he's not Soto, but he could have got, in a couple of years, he could have got $500 million. Now he's going to have to wait until he's 33 at least to hit free agency.
yeah. I mean, last year he arguably had the same, if not better, season as Tatis.
Yeah.
So who knows what he's going to be in 2-3 years, let alone in the prime of his career. Like, he's going to be really good.
We've seen guys 33 this offseason, even the last couple, don't get paid like the younger guys. They're getting 3-year deals like Bregman versus Soto, who got 15 years or whatever with $700-something million. It's a huge difference of when you hit free agency, which is why just take the next couple years of arbitration. You'll be getting close to the same money anyway. He's getting, what is that, $15 million a year?
Yeah, it's 15.
He'll be getting close to that anyway, and then go hit free agency at 27 and see how much money you could get.
Yeah, but what if his production falls off? We've seen that a lot with players. Like Eli White, he was first baseman for the Mariners. He got paid like $5 million a year, and he's been in AAA for years.
Yeah.
So it's a really interesting slope with extensions because sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. The Braves have been really good
Yeah,
at
the
it.
Braves are good at it with Michael Harris, Acuna,
Yeah, Austin Riley.
Riley, yeah.
Yeah.
All those guys that they brought up get extended right away.
Hmm. But maybe he'll hit 60 home runs this year due to the torpedo bats. So I guess we'll find out. But that's all we have this week on the highlight reel, and we'll see you next week.